Now, by way of announcement, so there is no confusion, you do not have to go to Mass for the Holy Day. It's not a holy day of obligation this year. New Year's Day falls on a Monday, it's not obligatory. That's why there's no Mass on Sunday night. You don't have to go to Mass twice this weekend. Clap, 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 clap. Like you did last week. You don't. Now, there is a Mass on Monday morning, and I cannot think of a better way to start the new year than going to Mass. But you don't have to go to Mass, just so there's no confusion. And you guys are the best people. You come in a snowstorm, whatever. So, if I'm doing my job, I take you places where you've never been, to ask questions that I never thought about that before. And I thank Father for bringing me there, and I go home and I ponder, maybe do some readings. I'm going to try to do that now, to a place maybe you've never been. When most of you are parents, I'm an uncle a number of times. When they hand the new mommy the baby, all mommy and daddy want to hear is one thing: no problems. The kid is healthy. That's all you want to hear. You know, boy or girl, you can deal with that, whatever you want. But you want the baby to be healthy. You don't want them to say this kid has some name like 18 vowels or something, and it's some strange disease for which there is no cure. That's all you want to hear. No problems. So they bring Jesus to the temple. They're expecting everybody to say, "Oh, isn't this baby beautiful? You know, pretty baby. It's so wonderful. New baby. That's great. Good for you." And what does Simeon come up and say? "You know what? We got a problem." Not physically. This kid is going to be a problem. He's going to be a big problem. Very sobering, he says to Mary, "You know, your heart's going to be stabbed. This is not going to end nice." And there it is. There's Mary holding the body of Jesus. Bloody. Bloody. Wow. The last thing you want to hear, your kid's going to be a problem. Wow. Now maybe I don't talk about that kind of thing enough. Last week I talked about Mary, how she brings Jesus to us. We don't worship Mary, but she's important in the puzzle. What do you think it's like when Jesus leaves home and goes out and starts to preach and contact the real world out there? Pretty much, he's a troublemaker. Pretty much. Yes, he did a lot of miracles, and people no doubt said, "Hey, Mary, your kid's doing a good job." Most of the time, who does your kid think he is? He goes into the temple and knocks over the money changers' temple, or their money. Who does he think he is? That's a business. Who does he think he is? Is he some kind of arrogant kid? And the Pharisees and the Sadducees, who are scholars of the law, he's calling them snakes, and he's telling them they're not going to get into heaven, that they're lower than the worst sinners. Who gives him the right to criticize Mary? Who gives him the right, this kid of yours, to think he's better than the scholars of the law? Who does he think he is? Translate, what kind of a mother have you been? What are you teaching that kid at home? You're bad. Now, I've never really talked about that time in Mary's life, and the scriptures don't say a word about Mary's middle life. They don't. But they do, because they are silent, we can only conclude that at no time did Mary go to Jesus and say, "You know what, maybe you need to come home and take a little vacation, a sabbatical." She let him go out and do what he had to do, even though it would lead to death. That's love. What's the hardest thing you guys who are parents have to do? You send the kids out into that big, bad world out there. And sometimes you know they're going to make bad decisions. They are. They're going to do things. "Oh my God, why did you do that?" And you could probably see it coming a block ahead. But you have to let them go. You have to let them go. I never had to do that. Don't have any kids. Most of you do. And you let them go. There's no walls around the house. They have to leave home. And Mary let him go. And it didn't end well. We praise her for what she does at the beginning of the story. "Yes, I will do it," she says to the angel. At the end, she's still there holding the body of her lifeless son. But maybe we missed in the middle that God gave her the grace to say, "Jesus, go do what you got to do," and didn't try to stop him, even though she could see the train wreck coming, because she knew that's what he had to do. So she has her job. Maybe that's where the greatest grace came in. No better resolution could we make for a new year, I don't think, than to say, God, give me the grace as we begin a new year. Give me the grace this year to do what my state in life calls me to do. If I'm a parent, be a good parent, and all that that entails. Grandparent, aunt, uncle, whatever you are, give me the grace to do what I've got to do. Mary was able to do. I do not know if I could have let my son go and face the cross. I don't know. And none of us will be asked to do that. But whatever you're called to do at your state in life, ask for the grace in this new year to say, give me the grace to do whatever aunt, uncle, grandparent, whatever. That'd be a great New Year present to yourself and to God. Let us stand, my friends, and we'll profess our faith in Almighty God.